Hi everyone, my name's Jason, and decided I've just decided to make a series of videos to document my recovery and rehabilitation process in coming back from a full Achilles tendon rupture, which occurred a week ago. Um, so I guess I'll explain how it happened. I was playing basketball at the time, social basketball. 5 minutes in to the first game of the season, I've gone to jump, grab the ball, and proceeded to just dribble. I've pushed off with my left foot, and I've collapsed. And immediately, or as I before collapsing, I guess I felt a big sort of kick to my leg, to my left leg, and turned back, and I remember screaming like to the ref, like, "Hey, that's a foul." um, I realized, everyone was sort of like a couple of meters behind me, and I'm just like, oh, all right. So I was in a bit of shock. I've gotten up, and I've just walked immediately to the bench. I knew something was up. It's as if almost like someone had jumped onto my leg, and I was just like, what the hell? I've got a corky here. Managed to walk to the bench, and had this sinking feeling. Pretty much it felt like my heel was sinking into the ground. I could walk flat-footed, and immediately, I was quite concerned and got the trusty old phone out. Started Googling, playing basketball, felt a kick to the back of the leg. Oh, Achilles tendon rupture, and I was like, surely taking the piss, aren't you? um, so I've pretty much immediately elevated that, iced it, and I kept thinking, is it or is it not? Like, is it a calf tear? But knew something was up. After the game, I drove home as it was my left leg, and just was quite stressed out, and seeked out advice from my stepbrother, who's been involved with I guess high level sports throughout his life. He's got a lot of friends who are have, I guess, played sport at a high level, and like at the college level in the States. And he also has a friend who's an orthopedic surgeon. Now I asked my stepbrother for advice whether it would be worth it to go to the to the hospital immediately to have this looked at. And he recommended, pretty much ice it, elevate it, keep it compressed, and as it was a Sunday, just wait till the Monday and book in to see a physio. So I got that advice, and I still wasn't sure, so I contacted like a few people on Facebook, some physios that I know. I was like, do I need to go to the hospital? This sort of thing happened, and they were just like, no, it's probably not worth it, because what they would tell you to do is pretty much what the advice you'd get the next day when you see the physio. So pretty much my stepbrother booked the physio on the Monday for me. So within 24 hours, I was at the physio. They performed a number of tests on my leg to determine what has actually happened. And first off, they asked me to can you flex your left leg, your left foot? Can you do this sort of thing up and down? No movement whatsoever, like maybe slight movement, but not real, not too much. Then I got onto the table. She asked me to see if I could stay on my toes. See you later. That's not happening. Another test was that I went onto the table, flat on my belly on the table, and she squeezes your calf, right? Okay. So I'm gonna show you. And when she squeezes the good calf, the leg that hasn't been ruptured with the Achilles rupture, sorry. Anyway, when she squeezes the good leg, let's say, your foot flexes. It's just the automatic, reaction. However, when she squeezed my injured leg with the suspected rupture of the Achilles, there was no movement, which indicates that the tendon, which connects the Achilles tendon, pretty much it attaches, it attaches the calf down to your heel. yeah, that indicates if that's not moving, there's a snap, yeah, there's a rupture. So then she booked me in to see the orthopedic surgeon the next day, well, as soon as possible, which was then Tuesday. And I went in to see the orthopedic surgeon on the Tuesday, and that night after the physio, I was just pretty much on Google, researching, what are the best methods to treat this injury. And there were two routes that you could go down, and it's either operate or non-operative. And there were various risks involved, and I was aware of the what was required for both, and had all this information with me ready when I went to see the surgeon. Now, the next day when I went to see the orthopedic surgeon, he performed the Thompson test again, so squeezed my calf, and there was no movement, and he sort of touched around there, touched around the Achilles, and there was there was a soft spot there, it's just, I don't know what to talk about it. It's pretty disgusting, because I could actually feel, there would be no pain sort of where the heel is, but then there'd be pain, and I knew that's where the tear was. Anyway, he discussed that I had two options, non-operative or operative, and he pretty much said that if you had to have an operation to reattach the tendon, so let's say that's a tear, let's have an operation and stick them back together, there'd be a 5 to 7% chance of you're less likely to re-rupture, However, if you went non-operative, which is what I did, and I had a cast put on, you've got I guess a 5 to 7% chance of re-rupturing it, and I guess the studies have shown that it is a slower recovery rate by a month or two. And I've also read that generally under the non-operative, you lose about, let's say you're at 95% of your maximum, explosiveness before the injury. Now they say when you go non-operative, you go to about 90, but that's taking into account, that's probably looking at, elite athletes, that sort of thing. So probably, let's say I'm at 80, I'd probably be at 75% explosiveness. So these type of factors, you're less likely to re-rupture by 5 to 7%, I was sort of I'll take that risk, because the risk of doing the operative, you'd get that stitched up, right? But there's the risks of going under, like general anesthetic. Sorry, just lifting my leg up here. There's a risk of infection to the wound, infection with the tendons there, which is, if it's infected, apparently they've got to operate again and get tissue from your calf higher up and stitch it all up and all this type of stuff. And he did mention that professional athletes and high performance people definitely look towards a surgical method. And I just took a few minutes, 5 or 10 minutes to think about it, and I went under the non-surgical approach. So pretty much I'm in this, I tried to move my toes, you can't really, I'm in this blue cast for 3.5 weeks, and when they put me in my cast, they flexed my foot down. So the theory is, let's say this is the tear, these are the let's say this is the tendon, right, the Achilles tendon, and it's torn, there's the gap. Now when you flex your foot downwards, what this does is it brings them, closer together, and I guess that's the theory. If your foot's flexed and in the cast, it can't move, tendons are brought in to that bottom spot, the heel, where it's detached, and they can heal. It can heal itself naturally. And he also assured me that both either operative or non-operative. The Achilles will heal. It's just, again, certain risks of re-rupture and this and that. So I'm in this cast for 3.5 weeks. I'm non-weight bearing. It's pretty like ginger at the moment. I've pretty much got it elevated quite a lot. The first few, it's only been a week, but yeah, if I put my leg down for too long, you just feel all the blood rush and can feel a bit of swelling and tension, I guess, where the Achilles, where the snap was, I guess, where the rupture was, and it's not a nice feeling. So generally, if it gets bad, I've started taking a bit of Advil, 1 tablet. Don't really want to take many painkillers. It's not really. As soon as I elevate it, I've got pillows here on my bed, and elevate it, pretty much pain subsides. And well, it's not really pain, it's that pressure feeling. I guess it's because you're in the cast, and that it's probably swollen, and yeah, blood rushes there, and yeah, it's not good. So yeah, after 3.5 weeks in the cast, I'll then have the cast removed. Like, it'll be assessed. Then I'll be put in a moon boot for a further, I think it's either 6 or 8 weeks, and that's still non-weight bearing. So I've got crutches. I had to buy them. I'll pretty much be on them for most of the next 2 months. Build that upper body strength. So it's a long process to come back from, and I love basketball, and I love being active, and it was quite a I guess the shocking injury to have when I was diagnosed with it. I was pretty shattered. I'm like, I like to go to the gym. I like to go to walks with my girlfriend. Pretty active. Go to the gym, basketball. I guess probably 4 times a week. So when they said it's a 12-month recovery process, ultimately 2 months non-weight bearing, then slowly, gradually, building up the calf muscles, building up your ankle. Sorry, I'm just lifting this up at the moment because it's getting a bit ginger. I might have to. Anyway, so it was a bit, I guess, depressing. But we'll get through this, and ready to attack. Or in a few months, when I'm ready to do the rehab, definitely I'm gonna attack that as my, that's my championship now. That's my championship goal. Attack the rehab as best as I can. Not too quick, obviously. Got to take a conservative approach, they said, because I think studies have shown in the first 3 to 6 months after you've actually ruptured your Achilles, you're at your highest risk of re-rupturing. So we do not want that to happen. So this is week 1 of my recovery, and I'll be posting videos. Another big thing, one thing that I got quite pissed about, it's just being seated all the time. The biggest thing to adjust is having to shower seated. It's a pain in the being seated. Takes a while to get used. I'm not used to it yet. I haven't shaved since it happened. Might grow a beard, I think, for 12 weeks. What do you reckon? Anyway, so I plan to release a video once a week, just to see how I'm going with the recovery. And this is for my own purpose to look back on as a reflection on as how I've gone and proceeded through this time, and also for other people to come and I guess look if they were pretty much what I did after discovering I had this injury. Was just typing on YouTube Achilles tendon rupture, and by doing so, I've actually found a few valuable channels, and one of them there's one Australian guy, and he's I don't really know his name, but he's just put SJ, and he's an Australian YouTuber who's gone through this pretty recently, late last year. Still going through it now, and I guess watching his videos, and I guess, finding out about the recovery and the process of going non-operative, and seeing him recover, I guess it gave me assurance that, I wasn't the only one going through this, and I can actually come back and do things that I want to do later, and do whatever sports, that sort of thing, later on. So I'm doing this for myself and for other people who are interested in it. Anyway, I think we'll wrap it up for this week, and I'll keep you guys posted. Have a good week. See you guys, and thanks for watching.